Let's get this shit cracking. All right, I don't even know where to stand on this bike. Maybe behind it? What's up? My name's Alfredo. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit subscribe. If you're a normal subscriber, make sure you turn the little bell on, because apparently YouTube be hating on people, including myself, and it doesn't let everybody know unless you have all my notifications on. So turn that on. Do so on Instagram as well if you want. The reason you're here today is because I, number one, am gonna be building a new bike. Number two, I'm gonna be giving away this frame. Some of you guys may have it twisted. I'm not giving away the whole bike, but oftentimes, you know, we freshen up more than one thing. So I will be giving away the frame. I think I'm giving away the seat, probably the chain, headset, and bottom bracket. So what I'm gonna do is make sure to go on my Instagram at Alfredo Mancuso. I'm gonna post the rules on Instagram, so make sure you go there. Anyways, let's get to it. So with the snap of my fingers, hopefully through the magic of video editing, I'll make this look seamless, but probably chances are that I didn't. So hey, that's life, I guess. So originally I was riding the Subrosa Matte Ray, the MR1. I think it's badass. And I asked on my Instagram what I should change it to. So I actually had to go and read all 300 comments to see what people thought. I wanted to get another Matte Ray frame just because I really liked how everything felt. But I already did the black, I already did the red, and I wanted to do the blue, but at the store we only had it in 21. I myself am kind of vertically challenged, so I don't need a 21. The one that we did have in store was a 27.5 Mark Burnett Griffin frame, and it's pretty badass. If you remember some of my older videos, I've had white bikes in the past, but they've been more of a flat white. This is more of like a cool pearl. I'm pretty hyped on it. Major differences are that this frame has a little better of a standover. Matt does a lot more tail whips than Mark, even though Mark is also a tail whip machine, but I wanted something with a more traditional standover and a little more traditional look and feel. 75-degree head tube angle, I believe it's 11.5. Bottom bracket, 13.3 rear end, so it's a little shorter than Matt's frame. So without any more further ado, let me just build this thing. So granted that we're at a bike shop and I have all the tools and stands and everything necessary, I still like to build my bikes like you guys would at home, which is usually kind of like on the ground like this. If you're usually doing this kind of swap from, you know, bike to bike, it's pretty straightforward. I like to replace the bottom bracket and headset almost every single time I build them, just because after a while from traveling, taking them apart a lot, they kind of do get worn out. So I'm gonna be using the Shadow Conspiracy tool to do all of this. It has everything literally that you need to take this apart. It costs about 60 something bucks online or in store, and I highly recommend it. I'm riding the Shadow Conspiracy symbol wheel set with the built-in hub guards, but currently I took them off because they're plastic. You do need to replace them, and I forgot to order them. So right now I'm not running any. All right, now you can take the wheel off. The cranks. So like I said, the Shadow tool does have everything you need. So right inside of this piece where the chain breaker is, it's a little home for all the Allens you're gonna need. Another cool thing about the Shadow tool is that it has like the back end is kind of like a hammer, so you can bang things on and off. Bam. All right, got that off. Where did the 6mm go? Damn it, Scuba Steve. All right, next up, stem, which will make it so that I can take my gyro, head tube, and fork off. Bam. Don't do that at home. Oh. All right, there we go. Last thing I gotta remove is the brakes, which that'll take 1 second here. All right, all that came off pretty easy. And there it is. I'm gonna leave the chain on, you can have it. All right, so here's all the mess of parts that's gonna go on this frame. But I also got some new stuff. So white pedals to match the white frame, new bottom bracket and headset, new gyro, new chain, new cables, a couple old things. Mikey Tyler's busted ass flip-flops.
One of them got burnt by the sun.
I bet. It's just faded.
I'm sitting in the car.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, all that's going on here. Give me 10 minutes, I say. 10 literal minutes. Very important, put some grease on stuff. It does make shit a lot less binding later. I got this cool purple grease. Matches that nice purple galactic Griffin look that Mark Burnett went for. Also put a little bit here in the head tube. Makes your seat post not get all jacked up later. Good rule of thumb for anything bike or mechanics or carpentry, anything, always measure twice, cut once. In this case, measure your bottom bracket, make sure it goes on your cranks before you put it on the frame. These killer cranks have a 22mm bottom bracket. Make sure you're running a 22. I'm riding the Shadow ones. So make sure you double check, triple check, quadruple check, because once you bang them on, it sucks to get them off. If you're doing this, just make sure you're hitting the bearing. Again, you put a little block of wood, that usually does help a lot, but I don't see one right now, and I don't care. All right, got it. Bottom bracket in. Since I'm gonna be using the same sprocket, what I'm gonna do is just flip the sides. If you have a flat spot on one side, you flip it over, you grind for a little while, and you get another flat spot on that side. It kind of evens it out. Another important thing, don't forget the sprocket adapter. A lot of people forget that, and then they live to regret it. So I run on the left side, the non-drive side, I ride one medium and one tiny spacer, and then the taller cone. And that goes on the left side of my frame because I ride right side drive. I am left foot forward. I am normal. I don't spin weird. Not that if you do, you're weird, but you know, just not the traditional way. If you're left foot forward, you spin to the right. If you're right foot forward, spin to left. Got that crank arm on, left crank arm. Now I'm gonna put the right one. So this one is a smaller, more flat cone washer that goes up against the bearing. Cone side facing you, flat side faces the bearing, obvi. And then make sure you align it. Usually it's the best to align it with the actual seat post. Cool, that went on smoothly. Next up, I'll put the pedals on since they're here. Make sure that the left pedal has an L on it, goes on the left crank arm. You spin it. This one is reversed, spins forward, so it's a lefty-tighty for this one. The right one is normal, so righty-tighty. And the reason for that is that when you hold both pedal bosses and you pedal backward, it'll tighten them up. Righty-tighty, so that means that you're gonna spin it clockwise, upwards, and on the left side, it's reversed. It's also upwards, clockwise. When you flip your bike, that's when you have some problems because then it's backwards. Cool. That looks pretty clean, right? I'm still riding the Subrosa Matt Ray MR1 because we don't have any right now at the shop, a new one, so I'm just gonna run this right now. But later this week, we should be getting some more. So I'll throw a fresh one on and I will give someone away my seat. I think it's cooler this way. More people get something. It's nice to give away a whole bike, but it's also cooler to hook up more people at home. My last bike was red and I had a red gyro, so now I got a new black gyro. Again, you wanna grease everything up. I forgot to put a little bit of grease on the fork. So what I'm gonna do is take some from the head tube here I just remove a little bit, put it on the bottom race that's built into your forks already if you have a newer fork. If you have an older one, you're gonna need to get one with a race. Okay, so drop the concave side, then drop headset cap. That took a second. And then I forget about a spacer on this bad boy. No, I didn't. If you don't have a gyro like I do, you just need the spacer at home. I'm gonna drop my black gyro. I think originally it was a Drew Bezanson. Gyro plate is acting as a head tube spacer. Then drop the Subrosa. I think it's called the rose stem because it has a rose on the side. Yeah, must make sense. Cool, that's on there. When you put the stem on, if you have an older one, it's already kind of a little compressed or clamped, so it'll hold for a second while you go get your top cap. One thing that's cooler about using a ratchet instead of like a fixed tool like the Shadow one is that you can't really ratchet it around. See, I have gyro cables that are kind of get in the way. Where are we at with time here, Alfredo? I don't know, let me go check. 13 minutes, so I said 10. We're 3 minutes over, but I'm basically at the home stretch. Gotta just put the back wheel on and finish the brakes. Everything else is minor adjustment. Next up, we'll put the back wheel on. Oh, there goes the tool. Need that. Cool, back wheel is on. Before I put the back wheel on, I'm gonna put the brakes on because it's gonna be easier that way. So I lied, not almost done yet. So here we go, brakes coming on. Makes it easier, that way you can work without having to have the wheel there. So I'm glad I went back. So I lied, brakes don't go on at the very end. Finger tighten everything at the beginning, then once it catches, then you can use a tool. For now, I'm just gonna use my hand, which is again hard because it's greasy. Uh-oh, make sure the spring and the cap. I have a lot of videos that explain each and every individual part of this, so this video is just because of the sake of time. I'm not really explaining everything thoroughly, but you can go on my website or on my YouTube and find it. So again, I said this frame is gonna be slightly shorter than the Matt Ray frame, so what I'm gonna do is make sure that when I put the chain on, I give it a little bit of room so it's not completely snug. Brand new Shadow Conspiracy Interlock V2 chain in black, nothing too crazy. Over your sprocket. If you have hub guards, make sure you feed it first. I don't have a hub guard on right now, so it's pretty easy to just get it in between the chain stays, up and over the driver, back around, and then mark it. And again, I'm gonna try and make mine a little longer than I need to because I want it to not be slammed. Like you saw Began do in the last video, is you wanna mark it first. Make sure it's on the tool, it's easier that way. You can use the tool for leverage. Inside the tool comes a little wrench, and now you can use a little wrench, push the pin through, make sure everything's straight. If it's not going in smoothly, don't force it because you're gonna ruin your chain breaker. You don't wanna do that. All right, let's see how it goes. Hopefully it's not too tight. Bam, look at that. That's what I wanted. I wanted a little bit of slack so I can pull the frame all the way back, and that way it's closer to my old setup than it is to what Mark probably likes slammed. I like it a little longer. All right, and that's all she wrote. Let me clean her up real quick. One thing I will say about white, it's the worst to keep clean because grease plus dirt equals black. So, gotta polish her up. But after that, basically, it's all done. Whoa. All right, guys, that's it. That was me building the new Burnett Griffin frame. I used to have the Subrosa matte ray frame, and now you can have it at home. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. Go to the post that I'm gonna have today about my new bike, and I'll let you know how to win this frame. So add Alfredo Mancuso to win this pretty good condition Subrosa MR1. And you get the chain, and you get the bottom bracket, and some other good things that I'll find. So yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna go ride it, so look for some clips on Wednesday's vlog. Tomorrow's a How To Tuesday, and I'll probably be filming it with either Tyra or Began, so look out for that, guys. All right, see ya. I'm out.